Gentlemen and ladies and gents, today I'm extremely exhausted, so I'm gonna try to get through this. There'll be no music, no antics, just me giving you the information and cutting this video off. I wish you would do so many more videos like this. Shut the up. Ladies and gentlemen, pay attention. Dear borrower, your mortgage lender has requested a cancellation of the hazard insurance that was issued in compliance with your home mortgage agreement. This cancellation is effective at 12:01 a.m. 9/17/2002. The reason for this cancellation is you provide evidence that other insurance coverage. Ladies and gentlemen, that's a normal standard form. Hold on, wait and see what else happened. This is a second letter sent from the company that was dealing with the mortgage. It says enclosed, please find the original retail installment contract and the mortgage deed of trust and the assignment stamp paid in full. That means that they sent back, like they were supposed to do in law, this individual's original contract and the deed of trust. Well, it says / deed of trust. So it sent back the original contract and mortgage deed of trust and assignment stamp paid in full. This is a satisfaction of mortgage, ladies and gentlemen. It is very important that you file the attached satisfaction with your county recorder's office in order to remove First Consumer Credit LLC's lien from your property. This original satisfaction should be filed, or excuse me, should you fail to file this form with your county, the lien will remain against your property. This is the original satisfaction. The lien will continue to remain against the property should you fail to file this form with your county. If you go back and look at 7 CFR 1901.508 under the Service and Agreement section and under I and II, you will see that that is exactly the process that's supposed to take. They're supposed to take when they do a satisfaction of mortgage. Ladies and gentlemen, this person didn't get this. It wasn't until today, and this has been on my computer since February. 4 months, 5 months almost, and I'm just now going over it. Oh, that little box right there that you see, that's me covering up the information because I want to protect everybody. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to do that from time to time. That way I can produce these videos without redoing them because of people's personal information is up there. So that being the case, this individual has a satisfaction of mortgage. I called the individual and I told him about this. I also had to get some other information because I'm working on a qualified written request for him and some other paperwork for the court. But when I called the individual, I was trying to get him to see this, and he told me that he refinanced the property in 2004. Well, this property was paid off December 2003, but I'm sorry, not refinanced 2004, he refinanced 2006, but he continued to make payments on the property up until 2006. Then he refinanced, and upon refinancing, he never received the money. So remember, he was the owner. The original contract was paid in full, so they paid the wrong people. So that original contract, they owe him money. But wait a minute, this is over 15 years. There's a statute of limitations. Statute of limitation does not commence to run until the last overt act has been accomplished. You see, the company that he refinanced with is the same company that the loan was paid off to originally. And I'm not talking about this LLC company. There was another company involved with this mortgage. That other company is the one where it was paid off, where when he refinanced, they paid that other company. But now that other company is still his bank because Washington Mutual is the company that he refinanced with. And then Washington Mutual was now absorbed by the same company he's running with now. Ladies and gentlemen, it's an ongoing conspiracy, but he owed them no money. There is no contract showing that he owed them money at the time he signed that contract. The monies were supposed to go to him because he was the owner of the property. Okay? The monies were supposed to go to him. This is his fault. And many of you are making the same mistake. I keep saying, people, you have to pay attention to what they're sending you. They're sending you the paperwork. And people are not paying attention to the paperwork that they're getting. And it creates a lot of problems. Please don't email me. Don't call me showing me your paperwork. I don't have the time. I really don't. I am very frustrated with you all as people because the information is right there in front of you. You're not even reading your own paperwork. And then you want to complain. You want to talk about how bad things are going for you and how horrible things are going and how the banks are doing you. The banks are not doing anything wrong to you. You're doing this to yourself. You're signing contracts just to be signing it, not reading the documents. I told you when I signed my first contract in a mortgage, that's how I know most of this stuff, because I went over the contract. I read it. Even after I signed it, I read it again. Why? Because I wanted to know what I was getting into. I'm signing this thing. There's more than 15 pages to this thing. I need to know what I'm signing. And then there's fine print, and then there's case law, and then there's some other junk in there. No, I need to know what's going on. So I took the time. Many of you are not taking the time. Ladies and gentlemen, this person has a certificate of satisfaction. And I could walk it through with him and get him to understand that they owe him the money he refinanced. See, when he refinanced, he was the holder in due course. He was the owner. The other company was supposed to notify the bank that they didn't have any more interest in the property, and they failed to do that. So they received the monies, and they received it on his behalf. Now, we're going to go after them, and I'm going to suggest he goes after them to get his monies with interest. So I'm going to have him hire an attorney, because I don't have the time to take on the case. It's just too much. But if the attorney can see what I'm showing him, and if he can see what I'm showing him, and if everybody can see what I'm showing you, you all ought to be able to take care of a lot of things. A whole lot of things. All right, ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gents, what we're going to do is we are definitely going to figure out all of this, but I can't do this by myself. Got one other little side note. I spoke to a young man earlier today, and the young man I spoke to told me he was going to put me in touch with a friend of his who knew me, who had spoken to me at least once. Well, he's actually spoken to me at least twice in the past. And this friend gets on the line, and he tells me this friend was going to explain to me a process that they were doing, because it dealt with the birth certificates. And I'm sitting there waiting for him to explain. And then he shines me off. Doesn't explain anything. Then all of a sudden, while I'm talking, the call drops. So I call him back. It goes to voicemail. I'm thinking they're going to call me back, because they called me. They've been trying to get in touch with me for the last 4 days. So they're going to call back. It is 4 o'clock. That call happened at 9 o'clock this morning. Okay, so I called him back and I told him there's no need to call me back. That I fully understand what's going on. That I fully get it. That I fully know what's happening. And I don't want to hear it. Don't call me back. You don't have to call me. I don't need no excuses, because if we're talking and the phone hangs up, one of us should be calling the other back. One of us should be reconnecting the conversation, because the conversation wasn't over. It's a respectful thing to do. Well, that person didn't show me any respect. So that person can't call me anymore. I don't want to hear nothing that person has to say. People, I don't have time. I don't have time. So, ladies and gentlemen, this video entitled possibly another mortgage fully satisfied. Okay? All right. Have a very good day. Have a very good night. Have a very good time. Have a very good life. And I am out of here.